All right, so let's do some more of these labs. By the way, one all-important thing is when you're doing these labs, you have to be using the browser inside Burp. So you go to the proxy tab, and you open this browser and use that. If you've got another browser, the traffic will not go into Burp, and you won't be able to do the labs. So you have to log in this Burp browser here. And then, let's look at command injection. So, I'll start with this one. And I always open things in a new tab, so I've got the previous information available. So before I do anything, I launch the lab because it takes a while to open the lab. So it's going to open the lab over here, and while that's happening, I can read the instructions. So in the product stock checker, it executes a shell command, and there's a command injection vulnerability. And here's the instructions. Now Burp will tell you to intercept and modify requests. In most cases, you don't have to. You can use the repeater instead, which is easier. That's what I prefer to do. I only intercept when I have to because it's pretty clumsy. But anyway, the store ID parameter, I can use a pipe command as the delimiter. So put in 1 and then put in pipe. I might have run a command, so it sounds good. So let's go here and see if we can figure out, it's the stock checker. Well, I guess maybe if I view details. And down here, I had this hidden field stuff showing. Okay, this is an adjustment I made to my Burp earlier, which I don't really want. So I'm going to, this response modification, I don't really want all that happening. That was just a demonstration. So let's reload the page here. All right, and now I have this thing called the check stock here, check the stock in London. That's the function that's vulnerable. So as usual, once I've found the vulnerable function, I want to clear all the old junk out of Burp, and go to the history and clear the history so I don't have to hunt for the good stuff. And now I execute the vulnerable command to check the stock and its 62 units in London. Okay, and now there's just this one request here. So I'll just send this to the repeater. Now, whenever I send something to the repeater, as we're going to talk about more later, you can have anti-cross-site scripting defenses, and those will mean that you can only execute this command right from the correct page. You can't repeat it. So whenever I send something to the repeater, the first thing I do is just send it the way it is and see if it still works, because a more secure website will not let you repeat a request. So if I send it, I get a 200 OK and I get 62, so it's working. It's telling me that, so it's OK. So now they say this product ID and store ID. This is the store ID has a vulnerability, they say. You can put in a pipe and then execute another command like perhaps ID. Let's see if that works. And yeah, it worked. This is the output of the ID command telling it what my username is. And they said the who am I command is what they want you to do to prove that you've got it working. So this should win. There it tells me who I am, and if I go back here, it should tell me that I've solved it. Maybe it's, no, it already was solved, but I thought it would pop up. Yeah, it popped up a banner. Congratulations, you solved it. So that's pretty easy. That's a simple command injection case. Let's move up to the next one, which is a little bit harder. This is blind command injection. So again, first thing you do is open the lab in another tab, because it takes some time. Okay, there's a feedback function, and it executes a shell command containing the user's applied details. Okay, and here's the solution. So it's the email parameter, all right? And they say use 2 pipes, all right? So let's see if we can find the feedback function. Submit feedback up here, okay? And put in name and email, okay. a@b.com will be fine, subject is AAA, and message is AAA. All right, so this is going to submit feedback. And once again, I want to clear out all the requests out of Burp that got me to this point, because none of those are interesting. And now I want to send the one request that I'm going to examine, which is this one. Okay, thank you for submitting feedback. All right, there it is. That's the one request. We send it to the repeater, and if it works, it says thank you. So the first thing I do is send it the way it is to make sure it still works, and it gave me a 200 OK, I guess. Okay, so it didn't crash. All right, and now they said the email had a vulnerability, So down here's the email. Email equals a@b.com. Notice the @ sign turns into a %40. That's URL encoding. 40 is the hexadecimal number for @. And they say I can put in 2 pipes and then execute a command here. So I could put ID there to run the ID command. And if I do that, I get an internal server error. This, by the way, is often what you get when command injection works. You've managed to inject a command, but it confused the Applin server. It didn't give a normal response. So I'm not really sure whether that worked. And the fundamental problem is it didn't report the output of that command to me. That's why this is blind. So in that case, to show that it works, what you do is you put in a time delay. And here's what they do. Ping -C10 127.0.0.1. That will use plus signs instead of spaces because spaces would break the command. Pluses will do. They'll be interpreted as spaces at the other end. And this is going to make 10 pings to the loopback address. Each ping takes 1 second. So this should create a 10-second delay in the response. That's one way to show that it's working. So I'll put in that stuff. And they also put these 2 pipes at the end. I'm not sure they're needed. We're going to see. But anyway, if it works, this will be slow to respond. So send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it was slow, so it executed it. Now, a couple things. I just want to play a few games here. That's probably enough to win, though. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't, maybe, oh, here. Yep, I won. All right, but anyway, even though I won, I'm interested. First thing, I don't need to wait 10. I'm going to make 5. And then I'm going to get rid of these pipes at the end. I don't think you need them. Let's see if that's right. 1. No, it comes back right away. Okay, so you do need those pipes at the end. And also, I don't know why you need 2, but this depends on how they wrote their script. Exactly what punctuation marks are needed to inject it. Apparently, however they wrote their script, you need 2 pipe commands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I often use semicolons, and I wonder if 1 pipe would do. I imagine it wouldn't, or it won't work. Nope, 1 pipe doesn't work, and semicolon probably is not going to work either, because that's the normal thing you do. Let's see if that works. 1, oh, 3. Yeah, I've noticed this. The burp people like to use the pipe command. I don't quite know why. Semicolon is the more common command to separate 2 commands on one line in Unix, and often it'll work too. Anyway, there are many solutions, but either a semicolon will inject as well as a pipe in most cases, and I don't know why you need 2 pipes. It'd be sort of interesting to see what their script is. Anyway, all right, and let's try another one. Those are pretty easy. This is output redirection. So, again, I want to launch the lab, okay. All right, in the feedback function, it executes a shell command. You can use output redirection to capture it. There's a writable folder, var www images. Okay, so this is a problem. The output of the command is not returned in the response. So, okay, so I think I know what to do. Let's give it a try. I need the feedback function here. Okay, so I'll put in again just random junk here. All right. And so now I'm ready. Again, throw away all the old stuff in burp because this is not useful. And make the one request that's interesting. Okay. And now send that to the repeater. And just as a best practice, I first send it without modifying anything to make sure it works. Okay, so I get a 200 okay when everything works. And now it was the email. And so the issue here is I can inject a command, and I bet I can use semicolons. So I can put in a semicolon, and let's put in a ping plus, I got to spell ping a little better, ping plus -C plus 5 plus 127.0.0.1 semicolon. This will tell me if it's working with delay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it works, so I can inject a command. But what I'd like to do is get some data out of it. So I can put in the whoami command here. and it'll probably run, but I don't get the answer. So what I have to do is I have to redirect it to a writable folder, and they said, they gave us the name of writable folder to use, this one. There's a writable folder here. So this is in the website. So what you can do is I can take the output of the ID command, or the whoami command, and I can redirect it to here, and then give it a file name like sam.htm. So it'll create a folder, in a file in there named sam.htm. So I run that. Okay, and now that should be present on the server. So I should be able to take this stuff and make a new tab, and up here, probably images. Images not found, okay. Well, that's disturbing. I thought it was images. Let's see. It was, the instructions are back here. It was var.w images. All right, images. Let's try sam.htm and see what happens. And then /sam.htm. And it's still not found. Okay, so now I'm getting a little confused. Let's try the solution, see if we can get it. So you do this, yep, and then modify the file name parameter. Oh, I had to modify the file name parameter. Really? Oh, that loads an image of a product. I see why. Okay. So I have to figure out where, this isn't images. I have to figure out where the images are. So the way to do that would be to go back to here, or go back to here and load an image. There, we can find out where the images live. If I right-click and open an image in New Tab, there, now I'm in the image folder. And the file name is here. Okay, I can't refer to a directory. I have to put it up here. So my file name can be sam.htm. Okay. And it tries to render it as an image, so I guess I needed to use a text file extension. So let me try it again. I'm going to change this to txt. I see. You can't directly go to the images. You have to use their image delivery function. All right. Let's try this. That should have hopefully written a file called sam.txt. And it did. There's the name. Okay. So that worked. Anyway, there are a lot of ways to do it. And it's sort of interesting to see how it works. And there, that's one solved. So that's what I wanted to show you. You should do at least 2 of these a week. And it's easy to do more and get a lot of extra credit. And I highly recommend it. These are very good labs. And I recommend the topics. I just chose the easy ones to start out with. So I started with path traversal, then command injection, and then we'll do authentication and so on. But it looks like I got duplicates here. I'll rearrange this. Anyway, but you can do them in any order. You can do any projects you like. But I just chose the easier ones to get started with. All right. So that's it. I'm going to stop this recording.